ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण चक्षुरुन्मीलितं कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हाँ, हरे कृष्ण बोल रहा हूँ। हाउ यू? हरे कृष्णा। मेरे इशू इज देयर। ओके, you remain muted. I mean, you keep yourself mute. Hello. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री राधा शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। So it's been a while. We have not started for the classes and all. We were all busy because of our own lives, you know. But मुझे ऐसा लगा कल रात को दोबारा से बहुत दिनों बाद कि नहीं, मतलब लाइफ में हम हमेशा बिजी रहेंगे तो
You were right. You were right, Prabhuji, no problem. So start. मैं तो daily देखता रहता हूँ, Prabhuji, आज start हो
बैकग्राउंड आवाज कहाँ से आ रही है?
गया। Yes, Prabhuji.
क्या आपकी आवाज आ रही है?
मैं बोल रहा था कि I was waiting, देखता रहता
हाँ हाँ,
हूँ, start हो
ठीक है।
गया।
म्यूट योरसेल्फ।
बोला नहीं। Okay.
In the background, a lot of noises there. So, anyways, mm, so we had so many topics to talk, you know, and we are going to continue with our Goswami books reading, you know. But I personally felt that we must continue reading our books. Yeah. So I thought, like, you know, because yesterday night I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and we were discussing about Gayatri. Gayatri bole to this Om Bhurvaswa, just like, you know, this, we were talking about Brahma Gayatri. Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dhamma Pranam. Welcome to the class. It's just we have a reading group, so every day we read something. So I thought of circulating the message so more and more people can come and join if they want to or if they are willing to. Hmm. Yeah. Yesterday, I was discussing with a friend of mine about a very secret uh, subject matter, that is, Gayatri Mantra. So, Gayatri Mantra, Rupa Goswami has given a very different view on Gayatri Mantra. And actually, our acharyas, they have established uh, Gayatri as not Gayatri, Gayatri not as the wife of Brahma, but Gayatri as Radharani. And how they have explained it and how they have uh, converted it, this particular thing can only be understood by understanding Rupa Goswami. This is not the first time when people are asking me about how to chant the Gayatri. And I have so many direct and indirect ways to chant Gayatri, which I can teach, which I've learned. But all we can do during the Gayatri, when we are chanting our, Gopal Mantra, Kam Gayatri. But still, if we try to understand the mood of Rupa Goswami, and if the Rupa Goswami's blessing is with us, then understanding of Gayatri would become different. So I just thought, why not to read the distinctive contribution of Rupa Goswami? इसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं रूप गोस्वामी का वैशिष्ट्य। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टम स्थापितम येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदामह्यम ददाति सुपदान्तिकम्. We are Rupanuga Vaishnavas, and we know a little bit pastimes of Rupa Goswami, but we still don't have the deep meaning or deep understanding of Rupa Goswami. Just imagine Krishna stole the heart and the bhav of Radharani, and he came to this material world, and nobody were able to catch him except two, Lalita Sakhi and Vishaka Sakhi. That is Rai Ramanand and Swarup Damodar. But still they were quiet about it. They were not speaking directly about it. But it was only one person who could speak directly on the face of Krishna. Hey, I know who you are. That was Rupa Manjari. That was Rupa Goswami. So the one who can understand the heart of Krishna, just imagine trying to understand him, how difficult,
able to see those.
how
संजय को
difficult
पूछा, संजय और
would it be for us to understand, right? So trying to understand Krishna, the one who has understood Krishna, trying to understand that particular personality is not an easy job. So that's why I thought, why not to read about Rupa Goswami? And the contribution to read or the inspiration which I've got, that I got from Dhir Krishna Prabhu, Dhruv Prabhu. Thank you so much, Dhir Krishna Prabhu, for giving me the inspiration to bring up this point of this topic today. So we'll start immediately. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. The distinctive contribution of Sri Rupa Manjari or Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Sopradantikam. When will that Rupa Goswami, who has fulfilled the innermost desire of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on this earth, give me the shelter at his lotus feet? Mano Abhishtam, the heart's desire. What is the innermost desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Especially what topic we had a lot of discussion on it, especially when I was taking my H&M session. Anarpita charim charad karunayavati nakalo samarparitam unnatu jalasam sabhakti shriyam हरिपूरट सुंदरम दुति कदम्ब संदीपिता सदा हृदये कंदरे स्मृतु वहा सचिनंदना. When Rupa Goswami was going from Vrindavan to uh, Jagannath Puri to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on the way, he stayed at Satyabhama Pur. That was the village of Satyabhama. And he wanted to write a book on the Leelas of Krishna in Dwarka and Vrindavan. But specifically Satyabhama came and she said, why don't you just turn this one book into two books? And so he had decided to write two books, Vidak Madhav and Lalit Madhav. We'll read the next book, Vidak Madhav. In the Vidak Madhav, when he went to Jagannath Puri, he saw the exhibit, how Mahaprabhu exhibited his bhav in front of Jagannath. And for everybody, it was like just flow of emotions. But Rupa Goswami understood there's something wrong with this guy. And he is what? Krishna. Vidak Madhav is a drama of Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan. So, what is the meaning of this particular shloka? May Shri Satchidananda Gaur Hari, resplendent with the radiant of modern gold, manifest himself within your heart. It had been a long time that he had not bestowed that most excellent, exalted, radiant, conjugal mellow, Ujjwal Rasa on the world. And so he has mercifully descended in the age of Kali to bestow the wealth of devotion service unto himself. So Bhakti. So Bhakti Shriyam, you need to understand. Hey, Chinmaya. So this is what exactly the essence is. The essence is Swabhakti, Swabhakti, Swabhakti. Swabhakti means the bhakti of herself, Radharani. Even though Shri Krishna, the original source of all incarnation, is endowed with the six opulences, he also Rasik Shekhar, the supreme enjoyer of rasa, the mellow of transcendental relationships. During his manifest pastimes in this world, he personally tested the 12 rasa, such as the mellow of conjugal love, Madhurya, but he did not give that prema to the living being of the world. Therefore, in the first portion of the Sandhya of Kali, Sri Sachidandana, Gaur Hari, who is a manifestation of Sri Krishna, when he is adorned with the mood, bhav, and splendor, the Kanti of Sri Radha mercifully appeared in the order to bestow the beauty known as Sri or Shobha of the most radiant mellow of conjugal love, Unnat Ujjwal Rasa, upon the living being of the world. Parakya Bhav, the mood of paramour love. Unnat Ujjwal Ras indicates Parakya Bhav, the mood of paramour love, and is only present in the heart of Radharani and the gopis who are her direct expansions. Kaya Vyuha Swarupa. Mention, write down this word. Kaya Vyuha Swarupa. Their ecstatic emotions known as. Please, Nathad Prabhu, mute yourself, please. Okay. So the ecstatic emotions known as bhava, which includes Madanakhya bhava. And what is Madanakhya bhava? Again, I'll tell you during the classes only. Like we've only read Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, Bhajan Kriya, Anas Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. But actually, there's another thing also. Bhav के बाद प्रणय से स्नेह, मान, अभिमान, Adgur Mahabhav, and then Madaki Mahabhav. Different stages also comes. We'll discuss about that also. So there are ecstatic emotions known as bhava, which includes Madanakhya bhav and the Rudha bhavas, cannot be given to any living being. Rudha bhavas that cannot be given to any living being. However, it is possible that the beauty, the Shri, or Shobha or their bhav may be given. Shri Radhika, the embodiment of the Ladini Shakti, the pleasure potency of the Lord, is the desire creeper of love, the prema kalpalata. The gopis are her leaves and flowers, and her manjaris or birds are the beauty of all of them. Such a beautiful explanation. Just as in the breeze, these manjaris further enhance the beauty of the creeper. So the confidential female survivors of Sri Radhika, Srimati Radhika, such as Shri Rupa Manjari and other enhance the beauty of Sri Radhika. The Krishna has appeared in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only to bestow the mood of those Manjaris, which is known as Manjari Bhav, to the living being of the world through the medium of Srinam Sankirtan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's innermost desire was to preach the paramount mood या फिर पारकीय भाव. Indeed, by the Lord's inspiration and the mercy, Sri Rupa Goswami fulfilled the innermost desire of the Lord. Before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people would look contemptuously upon this most effulgent paramount mood, Unnat Ujjwal Parakya Bhav of Krishna and the gopis. However, with the strong scriptural arguments, Rupa Goswami established the Parakya Bhav between the heroic lover, Sri Krishna, and the beloved heroines, the gopis, is the most auspicious, pure, and elevated mellow. In Ujjwal Nilamani, Rupa Goswami has mentioned Lagatvam Atra Yat Proktam Tatatu Prakta Nayake Na Krishne Rasniyasa Swadartham Avatarini. The defect of the paramour mood that is described in the Rasa Shastra, which delineated the science of drama, is applicable to a mundane hero, not to Sri Krishna himself. Let me tell you a little bit about this Rasa Shastra thing. You need to understand, you need to have this understanding also. That Rasa Shastra is like, Kama Sutra and Kama Shastra and all these kind of books. So in that book, the intimacy is mentioned between a man and a woman, right? See, these things should not be spoken in public, but you should know about it if you are reading about it. If you would not know now, you would not know never, ever again. So Rupa Goswami has sometimes taken certain things from such books, but he has easily converted those things into spirituality. For example, you go and read, you go and write 64 arts of Radharani. So like whatever the arts are mentioned there, they are actually taken also from the Kama Shastra. And it is mentioned by uh, the Rishi who has written the Kama Shastra that anybody whosoever, any woman who has these qualities can be the best woman for her man and can bring a lot of auspiciousness, happiness in the life of that man. But that is like, only for the sense enjoyment, sensual enjoyment. But that's not related to our spirituality. Our spirituality, Krishna consciousness, the Parakya Bhava and Krishna consciousness is very, very deep. Like I have given this example so many times. You are sitting here alone in the room and you immediately see, because of some air, the curtain is moving. And you feel, oh my God, somebody is there behind the curtain. Then you go to the curtain and you look at the curtain, and behind the curtain, no one is there. Just like this, Parakya Bhav manifested in the Krishna Lila. All the gopis, they were thinking that they are married, they had husbands, they had Sasuma, they had, their sister-in-laws, but it was just barely nothing but kind of delusion. Because at the time of Brahma Vimon Lila, Purnamashi, she made it a point that all the gopis should get married to Krishna. So when all the gopis they got married to Krishna, all the gopas, they never touch their gopis ever again. Like, have you ever heard that Lalita Sakhi, she was married, but she had a baby? No. Vishaka Sakhi never had a baby. Because this love of Krishna and this even Unnat Ujjwale Madhurya Ras is not mundane like the material the love which we see in this material world. You see, that's why he's saying Rashtra Sastra, which delineate the science of drama, is applicable to the mundane hero, not to Sri Krishna himself. He is Sarva Avatari, the source of all incarnations. He is also the crest jewel of these incarnations, all of which control religion, dharma, or irreligion, adharma. Since the incarnations are not controlled by dharma and adharma, how is it possible that Krishna, who is their source, would be influenced? This is a question for all of us, right? Uh, okay. So, anyway. So Shri Krishna accepted the paramount mood known as Upapati Bhav, which is this desire of tasting the rasa, the sweetness of transcendental loving relationship. He is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karan Karanam. He who is the origin of everything is himself without an external cause of origin. He is all powerful. He is a reservoir of pleasure. Akhil Rasam Sindhu. The gopis are Anand Chinmay Ras Pratitavi Bhavis Tavir Evan Nijrupataya Talavi. है ना? So they represent Ananda Chinmaya Ras, meaning the gopis forms are submerged in the nectar of the effulgent mellow of the pinnacle of divine love. Moreover, being the personal expansion and the counterpart of Sri Krishna, they embody the functional functions of his pleasure, potency, Ladini Shakti. Therefore, where Sri Krishna is the hero, these gopis are the heroines. How can there be any defect in the mood of paramount love that exists between them? Chaitanya Charitamrita Adhijita says, Premarasa Niryas Karite Aswadan Rag Marg Bhakti Loke Kariti Karite Pracharan Rasika Shekhar Krishna Param Karuna Eidui Hitu Ite Ichara Udgama. The supremely rasic and merciful Sri Krishna desired to appear in the world to taste the essence of the mellow of divine love and to propagate Ram Marg Bhakti, devotional service based on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Sri Rupa Goswami cites the following evidence from scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam, that quality of the gopis, Tavaryamana Pratibhi Pitrabhi Bataru Bhagubhi. And the gopis did not stop despite being restrained by their husbands, fathers, brothers, and relatives. Again, then again, Bhrataha Paryaschaya Vichin Vanti. And if being unable to see you, your mother, father, husband, son, brothers, relatives must be searching for you. Pati Subutan Vaya Bhatva Bhagavan Ati Vilangayate. O Achyuta, we have come here to you, overstepping over husbands, children, and sisters, brothers, relatives, the boundaries of morality, propriety, respectability, and chastity. Then again it's mentioned, Evam Mad Arthojita Lok Ved Swanamahi. O girl, for my sake, you have abandoned worldly obligations, Vedic principles, and even your near and dear relatives. Na parye aham nirvagya samyujam swasadhu krityam vibudhyayu sapivaha. O gopis, you have worshipped me even after breaking the shackles of household life that are difficult to overcome. Nayam Shriyo Angayu Nitanta Rate Prasadaha. And during Rasalila, Bhagavan Sri Krishna showed mercy to the gopis and fulfilled their desire by placing his arms around their neck. Such mercy was not obtained even by Lakshmi Devi, who always reside in his chest. Asam aho charam renu dusham aham sham वृंदावने किम अपि गुलमो लाल साधिनाम या दुष्यजम स्वर्जनम आर्य पथम चरित्वा वेजुर मुकुंद परविम श्रुतिभीर विघयाम। उद्धव जी कह रहे हैं ओह, all the boundaries of the Vedic etiquettes and the customs regarding the husband, son, and relatives are so difficult to give up. These gopis have abandoned them and have obtained the love of Krishna that is searched by even the Shrutis. In order to continuously receive the food dust of these gopis, I desire to take birth here in Vrindavan in the form of bush, creeper, or herb. The implication of this statement is that the damsels of the Braj possess love that is far superior even to that of the Rukmini Devi and the other queens of Sri Krishna. I was just sharing today, one time I went for the yatra, Hare Krishna. People. Okay, Hare Krishna. Ah, so I was just sharing that I went to Dwarka, and in Dwarka, they asked me to speak the glories of Dwarka. I'm like, you know, I was just sharing this morning with a friend of mine. Once you are a drunkard, once you are a sharabi, you only talk about sharab. You only talk about how to get drunk and how beautiful it's to get drunk, how good the wine is, how good, you know, the liquor is, right? And when you are trying to follow, forcefully going against your all desires and everything and trying to follow Braj Bhav, no matter where you are, Srirangam or maybe uh, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, or maybe Mathura, Ayodhya, wherever you are, you will only talk about gopis. You have no other topic to discuss other than the gopis, right? So that's what exactly the mood we should have. So in that particular class where we were talking about whether they wanted me to speak the glories of Dwarka, I spoke how great the gopis are. And then everybody was laughing at me and some people were also pissed off. Prabhuji, we wanted you to speak about Dwarka. You again brought Vrindavan. And then what to do? What is bhakti? What is preaching? For us, preaching means listening like a parrot and speaking like a parrot, right? Okay, that is very good for initial stage. But real preaching is when you have filled your stomach with one kind of food, and when you burp, that burp is a preaching. So when you are filled with some particular way of life, then you only speak about that life. Anyway, the Gopijana Vallabha Swaha Gopal Tapani Upanishad. The phrase Gopijana Vallabha means the beloved of the gopis, which is found in the Gopal mantra and other mantra in embodiment of the paramount mood Parakya Bhav. Other than in Sri Ujjwal Nilmani, Rupa Goswami has mentioned the Parakya mood of the gopis in the drama Vidak Madhav and Lalit Madhav as well. In the books such as Hamsaduta and Dal Kili Kaumudi. The speciality of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Because we are Rupanuga, we should know who we are, why we are here, and what is the mood, and what should be the mood of the Rupanuga Vaishnavas. right? So in some sampradaya, only Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes of eternal meeting, milan, and sporting pleasure, viraha, are accepted. Even within those pastimes, they do not accept pastimes of concealed desires and longing. यानी प्रचंड कामुकता, सल मूड, मान, अभिसार, दुर्लभता, nivarana, opposition. In the regard to the paramount mood of the gopis, they espouse the common sentiment regarding ordinary heroes and heroines and look upon Parakya Bhav as licentious behavior. Such people, according to the thought of Sri Rupa Goswami, are evil minded. In the following verse, Rupa Goswami used the interjection ah to express great lamentation for those people. क्या बोला उन्होंने? आहा किम वंदयद यतस तस्यामिदम एव महामुनि जागो परामहंस श्याम त्वचा समी कराहयाम स्वयं सुखा. He says that Srimad Bhagavatam, which is also known as Paramahansi Samhita. तो कोई पूछे what is Paramahansi Samhita, you can easily say that Srimad Bhagavatam. The great sage Sri Rupa Goswami Shukdev sang the glories of Braj Gopis, Parakya mood in the loud voice. Bhagwan Narayan first reveals his Paramahansi Samhita to Brahma, the grandfather of the universe, in the form of 4 verses known as Chaturshloki. Paramahansa Sri Vyasadeva, who is the manifestation of Narayan himself, composed it. And Sri Sukadeva Goswami, the crest jewel of the family Paramahansas, loudly sang this Samhita in the assembly of Maharaj Parikshit. The Parikshit was awaiting death in the presence of Dwarshi, Devarshi Narada, Sri Vashishta, Sri Parakshara, Sri Vedavyasa, and great souls. Those great personalities were spiritual masters, knowers of the supreme absolute truth, expert in relishing the mellows of devotion. The crest jewels of liberated personalities expert in relishing the mellow of devotion and crest jewels of liberated personalities. It was that particular time in the presence of those personalities that Shri Sukdev sang about this Parakya Bhav in the Paramahansi Samhita Srimad Bhagavatam discourse. He, the speaker, Shri Sukdev Goswami, and the audience, who included Maharaj Parikshit and sages such as Sri Sutta, Sonaka, Vidura, Maitreya, Muni, were all exalted or even liberated personalities. Therefore, this mood of paramour love between Krishna and the gopis can never be reprehensible or sordid. You cannot deny it. Bhakti rasa, the form of devotion. The Vaishnava Sampradaya, before Srimad Mahaprabhu, the practice of bhakti, such as Vaidhi Bhakti or devotional service, according to the regulative principles, was present. However, at that time, it was not widely accepted by scholars that bhakti is also a rasa. Meaning that is essential nature is that of relishment of transcendental relationship. It was solely Sri Rupa Goswami who is his analytical expositions established the bhakti war as the inherent nature of transcendental rasa extending to the pinnacle state of Shringarasa. Furthermore, conjugal love in the spontaneous loving devotion service, Ragatmika Bhakti of Braj. He used example to show how Bhakti Rasa manifests when Rati, attachment, Sthai Bhav, permanent ecstasy. We will discuss this also. What is Rati, Sthai Bhav? Huh? What is Sattvic Bhav? What is Uddipana? What is Vibhav? We'll discuss that. Again. So when Rati attachment or Sthai Bhav, permanent ecstasy combines with the ecstasies such as Vibhav, यानी कि excitant excitants that stimulate the affection of Krishna in this form of alambana, supportive excitants, and uddipana, impelling excitants, and sattvic bhav, existential ecstasy, anubhav, subordinate ecstasy, and sanchari bhav, transitory ecstasy, etc. Bhakti Ras contains five kind of main rasas of serving mood: Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya, Madhurya, and conjugal. सेवन सेकेंडरी भाव भक्ति रस है हास्य, अद्भुत, रौद्र, वीर, करुणा, भयंकर, भयानक एंड विभत्सता, यानी कि कॉमेडी, वॉन्डर, एंगर, शिवलरी, करुणा मीन्स पेथोस, एंड भयानक मतलब ड्रीड, एंड विभत्सा मीन्स डिसगस्ट. Such an illusion of the form of devotion has never been seen before anywhere. I'm telling you guys, I have studied some scriptures of different sampradayas also. Such a detailed description was not given by anybody other than our acharyas, especially Rupa Goswami. Shri Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari, and in the pastime of Shri Krishna, in the form of eternal maid servant, um, Shri she serves the divine couple in their pastimes in the secluded bowers of Raja. However, Shri Rupa Manjari does not explain the process by which the mood of being a maid servant is obtained. In the form of Shri Rupa Goswami, although he has explained this, he said, Krishnam Smaran Janam Chasya Prishnam Nij Samihatam Tatatata Katha Tatas Chasyo Kuryad Vasam Raje Sada. यानी कि the male or the female practitioner engaged in remembering and serving Shri Krishna should call to mind the Ragatmika devotees, those who are endowed with the moods such as Sakya, Vatsalya, Shringar, whose service he or she longs for. While continuously staying in Braj, the practitioner should serve the divine couple under the guidance of such Ragatmika Bhakti in his or her spiritually perfected body, since they are always remaining submerged in the nectarian pastimes of divine couple. By this alone, the desired mood can be obtained without the specific guidance of the gopis, that parakya bhav cannot be obtained. So raga is the quality of the natural ultimate absorption in and attachment to the subject of one's devotion. The Krishna Bhakti, which is endowed with such raga, is called Ragatmika Bhakti, and that Bhakti which follow the wake of such Ragatmika Bhakti is called Raganuga Bhakti. Example of Raganuga, the Ragatmika devotees are Shri Radha. Okay? She was serving the Lord in Shingarasa. Nanda Baba Yashoda Maiya. Vatsalya. Okay? And then we're talking about the gopis and gopas. Okay? They all are Ragatmika Bhakti. So Sri Rupa Goswami is endowed with the properties or the attributes that are more distinguished than even those of Sri Rupa Manjari by the life and pen of Sri Rupa Goswami. The world has ribbed greater benefit. यन कली रूप शरीर ना धरता तन व्रज प्रेम विहानिधि कुतरिका कोन कपाट उगतत उघादर को जानत मधुर्य वृंदावन को जानत व्रजनीता को जानत राधा माधव रति को जानत सोई प्रीता. यानी कि यन कली रूप श्री माधव दासी लिख रहे हैं purport of this song is that the Rupa Goswami had not appeared if Rup Manjari would not have. यदि गौर ना होते, यदि प्रभुपाद ना होते, और यदि रूप मंजरी ना होती, या रूप गोस्वामी नहीं होते, तो who would have revealed Parakya Bhav, which is the main, which is the means of obtain the great pleasure of the love of Raja. Without his mercy, who could have understood the sweetness of Vrindavan and the glories of redemption of Christ? Moreover, who could have understood the mood, love of Radha and Madhava? Kailashwasi ji, please mute yourself. It's disturbing everybody. So understanding the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here, the pastime which I was telling you before. So the time of Rath Yatra, the Gaurani was speaking a verse from Sahitya Darpan, whose purport only Swarup Damodar and no one else could comprehend. However, Sri Rupa Goswami, understanding the innermost desire of Sriman Mahaprabhu, explained the confidential meaning of the verse in another verse he himself composed. For this, Sriman Mahaprabhu lovingly slapped him on his back. यह कौमार्य हर सा एव ही वरस्त एव चैत्रेक्षपास ते कौन्मिलिता मलाति सुहाय क्रोधाद कदम बनीलः सा चैवस्मि तथापि तत्र सुरता व्यापार लील विदो रेवा क्रोधस्य वेत सीतरु तले चेतः समुक्त कंठे. That very personality who stole my heart during my youth on the bank of the river, has now become my husband. The same night of Madhu Mas have arrived. The scent of blooming malati flowers is again here, and the same sweet breeze are gently blowing with the fragrance of the Kadam forest. I am also the same heroine in the performance of the intimate pastime, yet, even in this, my mind is not happy. It is hankering to go back to the bank of the river, under the shade of Kadamba tree in the Vetasi grove. So, Rupa Goswami, the verse, he reads like this. Priya so ayam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas तथा हम स राधा तद इदम उभयो संगम सुखम तथापि अंतखेलम मधुर्य मुरली पंचम चुसे मनो में कालिंदी पुलिना विपिनाय स्फुयति. Oh, sir. Today is Kurukshetra. I have met my dear Shri Krishna, who is my life and soul. I am same Radha, and we are both experiencing the same happiness of meeting. But still, my mind yearns for the forest of Vrindavan on the bank of the Kalindi, which is flooded by the bliss of the fifth note of Krishna's flute. So Madhu Mas का मतलब होता है Mas in the spring. Chaitra corresponding to March and month of year. ठीक है. Anyway, ठीक है. So the meaning of the verse Govinda Virudhavalli, composed by Rupa Goswami, are extremely confidential, and even Dik Gaj Panditas or powerful stalwart scholars cannot fathom their meaning. These verses reveals wonderful variety of ornamentation, that is alankar, and alliteration, यानी कि अनुप्रास. Uttam Bhakti and pure devotional service. This, I think we'll just stop here. Page number 29, I guess. 15. Okay. So Uttam Bhakti and pure devotion service, connecting this to Rupa Goswami, this is a very deep topic, and I really want to discuss this tomorrow. So we'll be regularly meeting tomorrow onwards for our reading classes. Anybody whosoever is interested can come. I have sent the link today, but I would not be sending the link every day. There will be the same link there. So if you are interested, you're most welcome. If you're not interested, then also you're most welcome. This is anyways. So this is very simple. I've shared my this message with you all. It's not going there. Okay. Yes. It's very easy. 628 847 4245, and the password is Haribol. 7:30 sharp will be meeting. Anybody wants to say something and have a comment? I can understand the Leela Prabhu is busy. Tirtha Prabhu, anybody? No? ठीक है. श्री चैतन्य मनोविष्टम स्थापितम येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कथामह्यम ददाति स्व ददाति को. Yes, Prabhu, it's a very important class, very, very interesting subject matter, and the texts are also very good. And like this particular book will give you the overview of the next book which we'll be reading. That was Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. So we will be reading that book next, with in service to Srimad Bhagavatam, and soon we will be enrolling for that particular book. And that book, that course is going to be for 30 days. And 30 days we are going to discuss different aspects of bhakti more deeply. Whatever discussion we had, pray to Radhesham, Vanidai, Krishna Balaram, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, and Koti Vaishnavan to give us the blessings so that we can always remain situated in our Swarup as a servant of Krishna and worship the divine company with our mind, body, and words, and always attain the goal of life. That is Radha Dasim. Panchagal Mitru Vaishya Kripa Sandhu Bhavecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.